So these Newcastle guys are pretty big twats, isn't it? That's that. Safe. Boys, go to the away fans. Big up Newcastle, but your players aren't very nice. They said St. James's Park, terrible atmosphere, is difficult, is this, is that, is the other. Shut up, man. A team that's struggling to keep clean sheets. You should be gracious in victory and defeat. And again, to most Newcastle fans, please forgive me, but your players are a disgrace for today. I don't care about caring and things like that. Guys are trying to fight little kids. People are leaving things late where they're injuring players. Shout out to Nick Pope. This is ridiculous. It's disgrace to the big establishment that Newcastle is. So 3-point debt collectors. Newcastle hype, man. Shut up, man. 2 wins in a week. It's light. St. Maximin, you thought you was coming on to savage us. Cut your hair and maybe you would. So, you're right. Trippier, how's it going? You think you're going to be at Newcastle in the next 2 years? You're gone, you know. I promise you, you're gone. Boys, well in. Granit Xhaka, Jorginho, Jesus, Gabriel and Kirio, to be fair with you. Big win. Martinelli, shout out to you for the goal. Own goal, we know. Certain North London club fans come up here and get battered. Now we can enjoy our bank holiday weekend, man. You know what we do, man. Bro, his head's gone. Sar's head is gone. Do you know how much head loss he's got? Head loss. His head is gone. Trying to fight everyone and anyone. Joe Linton, Guimaraes, Sar. How have they got away with so many of these tackles? This ref is hell-bent on seeing someone's leg break. 100% he wants to see a leg break. Boy, we can't look back, man. I was scared. Newcastle having a great season, a great side. They made it very, let's be honest, made it very difficult for us at so many occasions. Lethal commentary, bro. Rate it. Thank you. Newcastle, a massive club. Great players, great project on the Eddie Howe. Could have done better defensively. Like us, I think there could have been more goals collectively in this game for both teams. You know, on another day, Odegaard, Martinelli, Saka in particular should be bagging. They made it difficult, but it was a day for the trenches. And it's a day where the whole collective has to be great. And I think everybody was. Shout out the keeper Ramsdale. Lord knows how many saves he made. Gabriel was quality. Kirio did his job. I think Benjamin White was okay, not to them man's level. I think Jesus worked like a dog today. I think Martinelli was doing dog work. I think Odegaard was great. I think Jorginho was fantastic. I think all of my midfielders who started were great. Of course, I want to see a bit more from other people, but we did what we needed to do. I don't know who's man of the match. If I had to, it's between Xhaka, Jorginho, Jesus, and Ramsdale. I'll give my keeper it in it because there's been many times he's been done dirty where we should have had a clean sheet. I mean, with a game in hand that puts us a point behind City, all you can do is put pressure on them, really. And we've been one of the best teams away from home this season, as you lot have seen. And we've won at some difficult places. But we've also gone to some places where we haven't done well. Old Trafford, St. Mary's, Goodison Park, Anfield. We might have walked away with more things than others. West Ham, but we didn't exactly do it. We knew we needed to come to St. James's Park and put in a performance and walk away with something because this was a big point as to why we didn't get top 4 last year. Like us, they're performing. They should be confident. They're in front of their fans. It's bank holiday. We weathered the storm and withstood the pressure many a times. You know, it's a noisy atmosphere. They're trying to foul us. You know, the number of yellow cards that should have been given, ridiculous. The only thing I could say we could have done better is probably put the ball in the back of the net and not a lot more. As I said, Odegaard should have had 2. Saka could have bagged. Martinelli could have bagged. And there's probably a couple of other chances. But man to a man, everybody did what they needed to do, really. We weathered the storm. We didn't allow them to rattle us. Scored a goal in either half. Did what we needed to do. Shout out to Nick Pope because he's also, Ramsdale and Pope have probably done Southgate very proud in that both keepers have done well. Odegaard turned on the style on occasion. I think people are going to do too much with Zinchenko, but it weren't the best of games from Zinchenko. It weren't the worst, but it weren't the best. For me, the referee's a coward, an absolute coward of the highest order. How it's gone that long without yellow cards, ridiculous. Letting a lot go. Ridiculous, really. I think Newcastle started the game better. They really did start the game a lot better. As you know, Joe Willett went close. Isak went close. Joe Murphy hit the post, on another day that goes in. you know, it looked like we was in a long day, you know. And again, you could see we weren't trying to play football per se in certain areas. Ramsdale, I think I counted about 3 times in the opening 4 minutes. It's just hoofing it long, really. Clearly, the gaffers told him to do that. He scored a very good goal. Bit of magic from Martin Odegaard after an assist from Jorginho. Again, Ramsdale, man of the match. His saves are as vital as the goals we've scored today, really. I think on another day, both teams, when the emotion is settled, would say that probably should be taking their chances and scoring a lot more goals. Well, for Newcastle, they didn't score any. I think my centre-backs were great today. Gabriel and Kyrgios haven't made that clear. There was a number of late tackles, and simply put, Newcastle looked rattled. I don't know. That's something they're gonna have to improve. We had to withstand heavy Tyneside pressure, but ultimately we did what we needed to do. So I'm a happy bunny. But yeah, it is what it is in that regard. Guimaraes, I don't know how Bruno Guimaraes isn't being, nobody saying anything with that late tackle on the back of Saka's ankle. Saliba's out for the season. Zinchenko in games like that could be a liability, but at the same time, he's been part of a team that's helped us keep a clean sheet. I have to give them credit. I was shook at Newcastle today. I was shook, but let's be real. As soon as Saliba is back, credit to Kyrgios, used this season to build, but the minute Saliba's back, it's Gabriel and Saliba until someone of that quality. Jorginho, Ramsdale, fantastic today. Big decisions once again from the manager. Big up Daniel. Big decisions from the manager. I sat there and said it myself. Well, boy, maybe for me, the big one was Partey not in there. Some of you lot might have said Partey, Tierney, Trossard. I don't know. But when you win, it doesn't matter really and truly. And at the same time, it's been a big week for us. Fair enough. Let's not gas up Chelsea. They're crap. But you still need to go out there and do the job. 6 points this week. We now focus on Brighton because Brighton, some of the things that we may or may not have gotten away with in this game, Brighton are on us. DG, to be fair, the ref did change early on the penalty call. I rate him, but why were you so convinced in the start? You could see it is thingy. And as I said, I give him credit for that. But several ones, like these are the games where, because for me, it's very difficult handling this because, as you know, since we moved to the Emirates, Arsenal are cheats, they're soft, they're this, they're that. And you've seen players' legs be broken. How many ridiculous decisions were made? And everybody who follows my content, I'm never one to waffle about the refs. It's a scummy win today. Dark arts. Even Xhaka. Xhaka was great today. A man in the trenches today. Rattling people. Obviously, Xhaka's a madman. Somehow it can go too far, but he did what we needed to do. I therefore thought, even if we were to win, that we wouldn't keep a clean sheet. So credit to the boys, innit? Mainly I'm most happy about that. And I'm happy because the collective shined. And obviously you can say, yeah, Jorginho, Xhaka, Ramsdale, this guy, that guy. Big play, Odegaard. People stood up to be counted. I think people won't really rate what Jesus did today as well either. Worked his socks off today. And this is what it's needed. This is a game of fine margins, a few millimeters, and the scoreline is different. As Arteta said, you need luck on your side too, which is true. Because, listen, Newcastle should have bagged a lot. We should have had a couple more. The ref was poor. A good win away from home, can't ask for more. Newcastle's a massive club, a dangerous stadium. They're a dangerous team. Every time you go there now, you don't want to play there, really. So it's nice to go there and win, innit? Poor finishing today. On another day, I'd say the finishing probably would have liked to have seen my fullbacks more isolated, my wingers more isolated against their fullbacks, but you can't have it all. I think we're going to win our last 3 now. I hope so. That's all you could do. That's all you could do. And what I like to do is that we found the way to win. On another day, and it's happened this season, we might have done well and needed to do better in some aspects and sat here and waffled about the referee and say, oh, my God, man, if the ref does this and that, just like Brentford, where we don't care, the ref was crap, just like at Leicester, we can talk about that, but we've got the job done regardless. There's no need to waffle about the ref. Trossard came on too late. To be fair, he didn't really do much off the bench. And to be fair, the game management from the players was great, man. It's 2-0, clean sheet. I have to say everything Arteta did from start to finish worked, innit? I don't think everyone came on at the right time. Probably time to put Zinchenko at midfield. I'd be amazed if Tierney's not a genuine option at left back now, at least for the Brighton game. We beat this physical team. They tried to rattle us. That was interesting for me. Generally, we kept our heads in it. Generally, we kept our heads. I mean, it's got to be Kirill and Gabriel at least to the end of the season. The minute Saliba's back, if Saliba is back and able to play, he's got to return sooner rather than later. But Kirill did his thing. And a lot of you said, yeah, you did well against Chelsea. Newcastle's going to be a different test. You got Izzat, you got Joe Willett making late runs, you've got Guimaraes, you've got Wilson. It's a big test, and he's done exactly what he's needed to do today, man. It's amazing. We're going to keep talking about the game, people. Give me a second, though.
Against this right back, Charlie.
Not amazing. Sorry. Lovely, man. Odegaard's got 15 goals for the season. Like, it's all great. It's all gravy. It's all gravy. It's all gravy, man. I'm a happy lad, man. Holding is average. There's nothing wrong with being average. There's certain legends in this club and certain players that are rated that average. If you're average, just be reliable and consistent. Unfortunately, Holding isn't reliable or consistent. Well, consistent in a good sense, and I like him. I need Caicedo to get booked tomorrow versus Everton to get suspended for our game. You're bad man. Martinelli balled out today, unfortunately, not to bag a game. A professional performance. It's one where, yeah, a couple individuals got to shine. And as you can see, it was a very even game. They had 12 shots. We had 10. They had 5 shots on target. We had 6. They had 54% of the ball to 46. We had 101 passes in the final third. They had 117. Touches in the up box. We had 24. They had 34. It's very even. But sometimes this is how football goes. Sometimes you're better on the statistics, but you don't manage the game well. Football's decided in both boxes. And we've done that. We've done what we needed to do, really and truly, if I'm completely honest. Even, the one thing Newcastle were doing when we started to wake up, I felt personally, they were giving the ball away on the transitions a lot of the time. Joe Linton, Guimaraes did it. Pope did it before he made the save. The only thing I would have loved to have seen is obviously Zinchenko look a bit more solid defensively, not to scapegoat him, but it would have been nice to obviously have scored some more goals. Goals and assists in away games. Odegaard's got 12. He's only behind Kane and Haaland, and then man, they are strikers. So it's calm. We like that. We'll take that. But yeah, man, I saw everyone want to win their individual battles. Jorginho has been brought in for the last 2 games for whatever reason, maybe fitness, injury, loss of form to partake, all of that, whatever it is. Jorginho's done very well. He done very well against Chelsea, arguably, and he's been awarded Sky Sports Man of the Match today. I think there's a couple of men of the match. Without Ramsdale, where we at? Jorginho bossed it. I think Xhaka had a great game. I think Odegaard turned it on at times. I think maybe not so much man of the match, but I think Jesus did well. I think Kirill and Gabriel did very well. So I don't, they tried to do Kirill dirty with the penalty stuff, but again, I actually think Ramsdale's being done dirty, really and truly. Martinelli, professional performance. Get it done. It's the business end of the season. Every single content creator doing an Arsenal watch along today, hoping this season was done. Come back another day, lads. We're still moving. I ain't hoping. That's a bit harsh. Appreciate that. I don't want my team to lose in that. Heads in the game. We got rattled at times, but we love it. Pickford relegated twice if Everton go down. He can't be the only one suffering back-to-back relegations. Did Ramsdale get that? I might be wrong. But he done all right for us. So, yeah, man, end of the day, you just have to get the job done. It's not about playing well no more this season. This is all we have to play for. We're not in the League Cup. We're not in the FA Cup final. We're not in this, we're not in that. Get the job done. You saw City do it. Get the job done. It's out of our hands. We have no chance, in my opinion. The least you can do is just get the job done. And again, it hasn't fully sunk in. We kept a clean sheet, people. Like, we actually kept a clean sheet. Crazy. Because there's games where it's not as close as this, not as end-to-end as this, and we don't keep a clean sheet. We're a mad side sometimes. But again, away from home, I think we're slightly more switched on. Great performance, great team performance, gritty, determined, and unafraid. You know what? I think Ramsdale should be man of the match. Xhaka was excellent today. Jesus made life difficult for Newcastle centre-backs. That's why he starts over Trossard. Let's be real. Games like that, Trossard can't do the false nine thing. When it's a physical thing, and even Jesus can barely do it, really. We need a more physical number 9. But it's not the game for them kind of players. But Jesus isn't going to get rated. I think Saka could have been better, if I'm honest. But as I said, I ain't got a bad word to say about anyone. I think everybody stood up to be counted. Speaking of not having a bad word against anyone, I've just seen Gallas on my screen. Somehow this man played 142 times for us. My mind has erased the amount of times he was in the team. They get away with a lot. Mind gate, bro. They got away with a lot. Nonsense. But let them do that. We've got the 3 points. Let them do that. We should have taken the 3 points off them at the Emirates. I told man about Holding. He messes up our shape. I mean, everyone can see. At this point, I don't get on to Holding because you shouldn't be there. You shouldn't be there in an attacking sense and a defensive sense. Now, I have to ask why Arteta or what Kyrgios weren't doing for Arteta to put you in sooner. He was a bit reluctant and he said, you know what, now's the time. But better late than never, in it, or sometimes it probably is. Ramsdale giving a team performance. We need a professional finish to the season, end of story. I'm with that. Simple as that. Don't care how you do, just be professional. Because now I'm thinking about next season and the building blocks that need to be installed for that. Shout out to Ramsdale. Ruled him out. He deserves man of the match. Did him a bit dirty, really. 5 saves today. Only made more in one Premier League game this season. Who would that have been against? City? Don't know. The title's still on. Big up you look. Until it's mathematically done, it's not done. Me, I think it's done, innit? That it's done, bro. That it's out. I just because it's out of our hands, it's done. But if City somehow mess up not 1 but 2 games, then yeah, we could talk. A man said, did the scarf give the team powers today? Job well done. Defense was still shaky, but glad for the clean sheet. There you had it. It probably did. Good omen, innit? Good omen. Good omen. Good omen. Good omen. Good omen. Good omen. Good omen, man. So yeah, man, nice day. Credit to Newcastle, man. They'll be back next week. Certain North London clubs could never rock up here and win like that. Certain man shipped that 5-6. All they can do is go out and perform. Winning these last few games will make it a bit less hard to cope. Another trophy this season. There you said it. All you can do is win the games and try to force the issue within that regards, people, really and truly. That is simply all you can do. Bit upset with the ref, bit upset with the standards from Newcastle off the ball. Thought you lot were classy. Still think you are, but yeah, pussy holes, really. On that, let's actually review the player ratings, people. Let's start. Player ratings. Let's start. Ramsdale, 10 out of 10. Can't ask anything more. What more could you ask Ramsdale to do today? And if you do have something, let me know. I think the manager told him to kick it long. He went long. Made his saves. Cool. What more could you ask from Ramsdale today? There's been several times this season, don't get twisted, Ramsdale's made mistakes, or times where I think Ramsdale's done all right and he's not got a clean sheet. It's nice to see him rewarded with a clean sheet finally. 10 out of 10. White, 6. I think Ben White was good. Could have been better, innit? I think Kyrgios, 7. I think Gabriel, 8. I think he was a bit better than Kyrgios, but you were both good. Zinchenko, 6. Nah, 5. I don't think it was below that. Shaky defensively. As I'd like to do, I watched the game again. Ben White, 7 for you. Newcastle weren't firing, but maybe that was down to Arsenal's good luck. DG, do you think we would struggle against a 3-5-2 formation? Potentially, but I don't know until I see it. Because to be honest with you, Newcastle, they went at least 5-4-1 at one point, or 4-5-1, and we were kind of cancelled out at the beginning. We was under the caution, all of that sort of stuff. But then after that, we patterned up. So I'm not going to complain. Sorry, folks. But yeah, that's Zinchenko, 5. Could be better. I think fans undoubtedly are going to do too much. But yeah, Brighton and Brentford away to the end of the season for City is mad. It is, man. But I just think they've hit stride now. It's done, innit? Like, it's done. So yeah, 10 for Ramsdale. White gets a 6. Kyrgios, 7. Gabriel, 8. Zinni, a 5. Granit Xhaka, strong 8. Maybe even a 9. I think he was good today. Jorginho, if you had a 9, I think I can't be gifting out bare 10s, but you was near enough perfect. Another one that can't really ask anything more from you, if I'm honest with you. Odegaard would be on a 9, but bonus point for scoring. He gets a 10. Who else is there? Saka, did all right, 16, really. Martinelli, I actually think Martinelli did a lot better than people give him credit. Should have scored, could have scored. 40 issue for the second. I give him a 7. I think he did all right. Jesus, I give him an 8. I think like Xhaka, when you know, when you've made the saves like Ramsdale, when you scored the goal like Odegaard, you're not gonna. Kyrill's a talking point indirectly because there's no Saliba. Nobody really cares about Jesus working hard or whatnot. But I think Jesus was as vital to our win as they come. I think Jorginho was faultless as well. So yeah, who else is there? Tierney in the minutes played 6, Trossard 6, Nelson Partey, sorry, NA but 6, Nelson. I think all the subs did all right, but nobody did anything of any significance. Nice feedback, I hear that, appreciate that. But it's all about the collective. Arteta 10 out of 10. Because if Partey didn't play, I would have asked the question why he didn't, because we're going into a physical game, but Arteta's shown why he's the guy. I probably would have started Zinchenko and Saka, but some people would say maybe those are the roles, or if not that, why isn't Trossard in the team? I don't know why people are onto Martinelli, man. People, do you not read the comments? People are onto him. I don't know why, but it doesn't matter, but it always matters because there's always something to play for. If nothing more, we need to just build for next season, innit? Regardless of what that season has in store. Really. Credit, perfect performance. And I do think, unlike the game at the Emirates, Newcastle didn't really show us. They showed us too much respect at the Emirates. They showed us no respect from a human point of view, really. Xhaka and Jorginho bossed it, as did Odegaard. We needed our midfield to be switched on. Fair enough. I think fans have to be fair. If they were terrible, fans would have been prepared to say this, that, and the third. So you have to give them their props. Eddie and Ketia, I've said it, 6. We've got a 7 for Trossard, 8 for Tierney, 5 for Partey and Nelson, 6 for Eddie, 10 for Arteta. Can't ask Arteta anything. We need an out-and-out throwback 9 to hold the ball. We do. You saw it early. Bro, I can't imagine we won them games, man. We finally kept a clean sheet. That's almost as good as the 3 points. Credit to Newcastle and Eddie Howe. They're doing all right. But it does make the top 4 race interesting. I do think Newcastle are going to be there. Liverpool are breathing down next. Obviously, United have games in hand. United know, to be honest with you, United know damn well what they have to do in the game they're about to play, really. What, Liverpool 5th, 62 points. Oh, United know they have to beat West Ham. West Ham probably are going to be safe, saying that they could draw themselves out. So they still have something to play for, really. Really. It's a tough game. Hey, Brighton. Oh, we got Brighton. Next Spurs fans might cheer for us. I want Brighton to finish above Spurs. There's still a possibility if Spurs win no more matches for Brentford for Spurs to finish as low as 9th. Boy, 7 for. I didn't give 7 a trust. I didn't give Trossard a 7. It's a 16. Big up American Gooner, you always hear. And he's gifted out 5 community subs. One love for that. Can Everton get anything against City? In life, anything can happen, but I wouldn't. Stranger things have happened. They are fighting for their lives. I wouldn't bet no money on that. We didn't allow Newcastle to bully us, rattled them at times. That's how you play when 2-0 up. That's the first time we've looked a bit street smart. That is the first time in a long time that we've looked a bit street smart. Which I don't know why that was the case, but pick them up. Big them up. Street smartness. Obviously, even Xhaka's losing his head. It's like he's fighting with himself. It's like he's half wanting to do what he would do, and then he's thinking, you know what, you're not trying to rattle me. Newcastle look like childish kids with Guimaraes, with Joe Linton, with Trippier. I hope we're turning the music up extra loud, man. Everton always plays City tough. I'm sure they'll draw with them at the Etihad early. I'm sure they drew with them early at the Etihad this season. Bet 5K and won 7. Wow, you came up a lot. Fugged out today, and you just have to wonder, where is this sort of, not necessarily the performance, but where is those elements of Arsenal more often? Why, like, you get it? Like, why was that not there against Liverpool? And it's a lot more difficult, but against Liverpool, against Everton. Well, Everton, we just needed to turn up full stop. With that, Everton and City, probably the worst. City as well. Everton and City, probably the worst performances. And you lot always hear me on my channel. I big up our away form. I think we've been superb. I think we've won at some difficult grounds. But then, and I break it, Brentford, Palace, these sort of places. But Spurs, for us anyways, Chelsea. But then when I break it down, obviously Newcastle now, it's another season not really winning at Goodison Park, or the Etihad, or Anfield, or the London Stadium, or Old Trafford. So this is where we need to go to the next level. But I don't know where it is, man. We're a weird team. I think this season, as great as City are, we've shown we can be our best friends or our worst enemies. But yeah, Everton, Goodison Park in Everton, if I didn't make that clear. We didn't turn up. 270 likes. Can we get to 300 people? And appreciative to all of you that have been tuned in on this Sunday afternoon. If we didn't drop points to bums like Southampton and West Ham, I think it's before that. Personally, it's Newcastle at home. It's Southampton away. It's Everton at home. Everton away. Apologies. It's them kind of games there as well. That as much as the recent games, I agree with you. It would have been irrelevant. Even when we've won games, Brighton away, Man United at home, Leicester at home, Leeds and Crystal Palace at home. When we've won games, we've switched off. This was the first time in a while that we were somewhat, and I say somewhat, we was fairly professional for the majority of the game. Now, we're a weird team. We either come out the blocks fast and we end the game well. I mean, we don't end the game well. Or we come out slow and end the game well, sort of thing. And that was today, like first 10 minutes, literally until Odegaard scored. Let's be real. Until Odegaard scored, they were onto us. They hit the post. Ramsdale's making saves. We look very good on the ball, off the ball. We're open on the transition. It's very scary. It's like the goal gave us a lot of confidence, really, in my opinion. And it's like as the game went on, we grew. Second half, I was a lot more impressed. If I'm honest, we looked a lot more confident in our abilities to just get the job done. So I'll take that. We'll maneuver with that.